Hello. I am using the headphones this time. I did not use these in my previous session, so can you still hear me okay? Just let me know. I have some outside work going on, so I just didn't want it to pick up. Perfect. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, so we have 3 minutes, so I'm just going to get my presentation pulled up, and then we'll wait to get started. Make this, oops, let's go back. Make this a little smaller. That way I can see you. I'm so excited to teach you guys about what I know about social media. This is going to be a really good one. There's a lot of new things that I've tried, and personally it's worked for me. So I think it's going to work really, really great for you guys. We'll just wait a little bit. Turn that on silent. I hope everyone's having a great day so far. Feel free to put in the chat. Oh, good. Thank you. Nope, on multiple. We're going to be talking about multiple platforms. So I am going to be leaving the room to ask questions as we go too. So if you have any questions about a specific platform, we can talk about it. Honestly, this one, we could talk for a whole day on social media. So it's really, really tough to condense it to just 40 minutes, but we're going to give it a try. Give it a couple more minutes. Let me know how the conference has been so far. Has it been helpful, useful to you? I hope that I can do this again next year and we can actually meet in person. We'll just give it a couple minutes. Okay, so it's 2. I'm going to give it 1 more minute, see if anybody's just logging on now and coming in. Almost there. Okay. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. I am talking about social media today. Are you doing it right? So there's my contact information. I'm Katie Spurlin. I left my phone number, my email, and a couple of my websites. MyKatieAlvarez.com. My name has changed since being married, and I haven't changed my website. But that's where that's my business site. That's where I have all my pricing and photos and videos and everything that I do for my business. And then the tinydisneydetails.com is actually one I just started this last year. And it's kind of more of a hobby that I'm kind of seeing what it might turn into, but I'll talk a little bit more about that. So let's just get started. A little bit about me. I have a bachelor's in communications. I've worked for USF, BYU Idaho, and the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. So I've been around. I have a 2-year-old daughter and my husband, Jeremy, and 2 dogs. So nice, small little family. And like I said, I run my own business for video photography. I even do graphic design and social media, which is why I'm here talking to you today. And the one I started in June 2020, so just this last June, my Instagram handle is the Tiny Disney Details, but the website is tinydisneydetails.com. Same with YouTube. That one's just for fun for me because I really love Disney World, and I kind of wanted to start my own social media, see if I could gain a lot of followers and eventually perhaps become a Disney influencer where they would send me to their resorts and have me do reviews for food and resorts and new attractions. So that one's just kind of been fun, just getting started and see where it might go. And that's why I mentioned I have a lot of social media practices that I've implemented, and it's worked really great for me. So we are going to see if any of this can help you, which I really do think it can. All right, so is this how you feel about social media? This is fine. This is fine. I may be burning, but it's working out okay. It's fine. Social media is really tough, and it can be pretty daunting. Honestly, there's so much to it, and it's constantly changing. So your social media might not be doing that great, but you're feeling like it's okay. Well, I'm going to help you get out of that situation. You're going to feel like it's doing wonderful, and you're going to feel confident about it, whether you're doing it or someone else is doing it for you. So what we're going to talk about today is what social media platforms you should be using. We're going to talk about content creation. I'm doing a basic run through of just everything when it comes to social media. I'm going to give you some basic tips on just things you should be doing that'll help gaining and retaining followers. And then we'll have time for questions and what I can do for you. And like I said, go ahead and ask questions as they come or save them to the end, whatever you want. We're really flexible. Also, just as a reminder, there is the polls. So at the end of it, you can put your poll there on how you felt like this went. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started. What platform should you be using? Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. Basic 4 right there. First, let's run through them. Okay, so I didn't exactly type out information, so you'll want to take notes because it's more me talking and telling you things. So definitely make sure you're ready to take notes here. So Facebook. Everybody's on Facebook, have been for a really long time, although it's kind of changing on how it works. And this is what I mean by that. You may have a Facebook page specific for your business. I would honestly be surprised if you have a huge following on that Facebook page. Facebook pages were kind of the start of everything where people wanted to have their businesses, and they're still important. You still want to have it there for people who aren't on all these other platforms. But really, where you need to be focusing when it comes to Facebook is Facebook groups. I'll say that again, Facebook groups. Everybody is on Facebook groups. These are well-established groups. So for example, I'm assuming I'm talking to mostly realtors here. So I'm gonna just kind of be gearing it towards that, but it can be applied to anything. In Fishhawk, I live in Fishhawk, Tampa, Florida. If you're from here, that's awesome. So you know what I'm talking about. But for this neighborhood in specific, there is a Facebook group called Fishhawk for Sale, Homes for Sale. There's a Fishhawk for Sale page as well, but Fishhawk Homes for Sale. On that group is already established like 60,000 people who live in this area. That's a well-established group. When you read, each group has a different kind of rule set, but this group specifically allows you to post your new listings there. So if you have a Fishhawk home for sale that you've listed, you need to be going in that group and posting that listing, because now you've reached out to 60,000 people specifically in that area. Now, not everybody's going to be specifically in that area, but these are also people interested in homes in that area. Now, there's so many different groups. There's Riverview Homes for Sale. There's, Tampa Homes. These are the kinds of things that you need to be into when it comes to Facebook. Make sure you're very active in those groups, posting constantly. Whenever you have something new, you put it on MLS. Automatically after that, you should be copying and pasting it or sharing it to those groups. So that's where Facebook is important. Now, Instagram. Instagram is probably the most important in my opinion. Everybody from every age group is on Instagram. So you've got like your 13-year-olds all the way to like 70-year-olds. You can see specifically too through analytics on Instagram who you're specifically reaching out to, and it'll show you those different age groups. But that's how wide Instagram's reach is right now. The thing with Instagram is it's kind of the beauty platform. So you want to be active on that, but you got to make sure you're doing it right. We're going to talk more about that, but Instagram kind of is what I would say is when you're creating content, create it for Instagram and then share it everywhere else, because your very best should be on Instagram. And if it does well on Instagram, it's going to do well on any of the other pages, in all honesty, because it is the top-notch beauty platform of them all. All right, now Pinterest. You would not usually think Pinterest is important, but it's very, very important. Pinterest is where you have all those moms basically who want to save anything, not even just moms, but just people in general want to save things for their future. They want to save that idea for something that they want in the future. When you get a great picture, because it has to be a great picture on Instagram, remember? Has to be a great picture. So once you post that on Instagram and Facebook, what you should be doing is taking that picture using, we'll talk more about apps, but using an app like Canva, where you'll put on your logo onto that picture, or your name or website or all of it, put it on Pinterest. If it's this picture of this beautiful kitchen that you've listed, even if that kitchen sells, if that home sells, if you put that kitchen picture on Pinterest and you've had like 100 or thousands or millions of people pin that to their kitchen board where they want their kitchen to look like this, or they've gotten ideas from it, well, your name's there. And anytime they're going to go look for a new home or how to update their kitchen, they're going to see your name, your brand. And that's what you want. You want to be familiar. So Pinterest is actually a really great place to throw up 1 or 2 great photos a week, or every time you get a listing, take the best picture of that listing and put it on Pinterest. And then TikTok. We have a love-hate relationship with TikTok. We don't necessarily love it because it's addicting and it's ridiculous at times, but we should love it because the reach is insane. There are so many people on TikTok. As much as we don't want to be, we're still on it, and we get addicted, and we kind of fall into this rabbit's hole sort of thing with TikTok. You'll find that you're off of it 2 hours later. Here's how TikTok would work for you. The 3 things that you want to focus on when you're creating a TikTok video is it's either informational, educational, or humorous. So you've got a lot of information and education you can share. A lot of people do not know the process of buying a home. There's so many first-time home buyers. Even now that I've been a first-time home buyer, I still don't know how it works. I still don't perfectly know how it works. There's so much to real estate I don't understand. And so many different aspects of it, right? You can talk about investing and how they can make the most out of their money. Or you can talk about just what you need to have ready before you sell a home, or what you should look for in a home, or so many different things that you have to offer people on TikTok. If you go on there and I say post a video or 2 daily, if you're constantly on there and you're sharing these little tidbits of information, it doesn't have to be long either. 15 seconds, 30 seconds. It doesn't have to be that long, but you make it informational and people are going to follow you. They're going to want to know more. So you as a realtor have so much information to offer, and there's not a ton of realtors on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I'm seeing maybe one. So it's such a new platform for that industry that you really have the opportunity to kind of go on fire there. So you should really be considering going on TikTok. When it comes to that, I would say be professional, but also be okay to be humorous. So I'll go a little bit more into that now. So those are the platforms. Any questions on those, feel free to ask them, but I'm gonna keep going on. All right, so we're gonna talk about content now. So what exactly should you be putting on those platforms? Here's a basic run through. First off, quality over quantity. Some people think that they have to be on there posting 10 times a day. That's not the case. I'm talking in specific to Instagram because Instagram and TikTok is where you want to go big and where you will go the biggest right now, not so much on Facebook or Pinterest. So if you're focusing on Instagram, you're going to want to post once a day. That's the rule, once a day at least. But you want to make sure that's quality. That is a quality post. The image is breathtaking or really good and captivating, and that you have a purpose. That's going on to the next one. It's purposeful. Going back to what we were talking about with TikTok, informational and educational, you want it to be the same thing. With getting followers, they don't necessarily follow for you. People only follow when they find something in it for them. So if you're also just a really engaging person, you've got this great personality and you're really just captivating, that's great. That's a great addition to it. And people will start to follow you for you as well, but they always want to get something out of it. It's about them, not you. You have to remember that on social media. It's about them, not you. So when you go on there, post a quality photo, quality post, make it purposeful. When I said post at least once a day, definitely post at least once a day, but I would say typically no more than 3 times, 3 to 4 times a day, because then you just kind of get to be a little bit annoying. It really doesn't, it's just really up to you on that point, how many times you want to post a day, but don't just post to just be out there. Post because it's something, it's good, it's substantial enough for someone to read it, to see it. So going on to the next one, show, don't tell. This is a really big one. Some people just want to like write a whole bunch of text and it's a semi-okay photo. But really where you want to captivate people and you get people to read your post is when you show them. If it's got an image that can basically pull someone in, you have half a second to engage someone into your post. That's with a picture. With video, you get a little bit more time to engage someone. Videos are more engaging than photos. But if you can have that half second and they start scrolling, they wait, they go back and they look at your image again, then they're going to be engaged and captivated but enough by it that they're going to want to read the information, that text. So make sure your photo pretty much says it all, and then have your caption there. And we'll go more into the caption. When the next point, humor is a good thing. So people like to laugh. People love following people that make them laugh. There, like I mentioned earlier, there's a professional level to it, and you want to make it relatable. So you don't want to just post something that you thought was funny that day. If it doesn't relate to your niche or what your brand is, then people just get confused by it. So be humorous, but be humorous in your own way that's related to your brand, to your niche, being real estate. And I've seen several funny things out there. You can be funny about real estate. And if you have a hard time, Google it. Google some funny memes, get some ideas. Even if you go and follow some of your favorite realtors that are already doing really well on social media, take some ideas from them. So the next one, be positive. This is a really big one too. You don't want to be negative on social media ever. So for example, we know 2020 has been a really hard year for everybody, but the last thing anybody wants, because we're constantly all dealing with stress, the last thing anybody wants is to read about your stress or hear about your stress or your problems, because they've got their own. So for example, with 2020, how hard it was, well, if you've been having a hard time or something happened, maybe mention it in a way where it ends off being hopeful. Or you show, oh yeah, 2020 has been a hard year, but check out all these great things that have happened too. One thing I would even say, going along with real estate, 2020 was a really hard year, but 2021 is full of opportunity. Inventory is high or low, and interest rates are low, and you've got this great opportunity to sell your home. So, be positive with it. Add a call to action. So what I mean by adding a call to action is at the end of your post, you should always put something along the lines of, check out our website, or double tap if you loved this post, or even go as far as trying to get them engaged in the comments, such as, which is the most important feature of the home to you? Is it the kitchen or the master bedroom or the bathroom? Make it so it's simple enough that it's like they have the option to leave an emoji or save your post, or they can answer between the two options. Oh man, the kitchen is my favorite spot. When I look for a home, it has to have an amazing bathroom. Just always add a call to action. You want people to engage with your post. I'm gonna kind of take a break here for a second. One thing you should know that reminds me is the algorithms are constantly changing for social media. So you always have to stay on top of what's trending, what's working, what's not working. And along the lines of a call to action, asking them to save your post is actually a really great one. And I'll tell you why. Instagram, unfortunately, has recently changed their algorithm where your likes and comments, if you're getting a lot of likes and comments, that's great, but it's not good enough anymore. Now Instagram is pushing forward more posts and influencers and profiles who have more saves and more shares. That was the other one. So what you want is to have information that's out there that's shareable and savable. If you're putting out information that's shareable and useful, people are going to want to save it and share it with their friends. And you gotta add that call to action too. If you found this useful, make sure you save it and you share it, because the more saves and shares you get, the more Instagram's going to push you and your information out there, because they see people are really liking this, they're really engaging with it. Okay, so use your own photos. This one's important because originality just goes a lot longer, and when you get like a stock photo, it's not as engaging, it's not as captivating, there's not a lot of emotion to that, right? If you use your own photos, you can kind of tell the story you want to tell on your own. I did a presentation earlier today of how to take your own photos and how to make those look good. I'll touch a little bit on that later in this presentation, but if you have a chance to watch that later, I highly recommend it, so that you can take better photos and really engage better with your followers and with those people who are not your followers yet, but then will learn that they want to be. Create memorable infographics. So I have some examples I'm going to share of these kind of last few here, but we're going back to purposeful. Infographics are a great way to share information and educate people. When it comes to making them memorable, you want them to be easy to read. You want them to be vibrant and eye-catching. And something I would add on to that, numbers are huge. If it's got like a top 5 or a top 6 things you should be knowing when you buy a home, which is actually one I'll show you, people love numbers. They want to read the 6 don'ts or the 6 do's. So use numbers in your infographics when you're sharing information, but that's a big one there. Sharing customer testimonials and reviews is another one. How many times do we not buy something until we read the reviews? Like all the time, right? And then if you have a friend that's bought something and they say, wow, this is great, you don't even think twice about it. You're like, okay, I'm going to get it. Not even a question. So testimonials and reviews are a really big asset for you. Whenever you sell a home, you should always be asking that client to write a review on Google Reviews for you. And then you should take that review and put it on your social media, share it with everyone that's following you, or just even put it out there so that people can see it. And then lastly, be trendy. You should definitely be trendy. Trendy doesn't necessarily mean though that you have to do the latest like dance challenge, because that may not be so professional. It may not fit your brand. Although it could. You could be combining the trendy and the humor together, right? Like, this is how you feel when you sell a home and you're dancing to the dance trend, right? So it could be both. But when it comes to being trendy, you got to think outside of the box of just that sort of thing. Like, trendy also means how the pictures are looking on Instagram. Like right now, actually what's really trending is the film look on Instagram, that film kind of coloring in your pictures. I'll talk more about like how you can kind of get those trends. It's basically through somebody who's created it for you. It's like a filter on Instagram, but Instagram doesn't make it. You have to buy it from someone else who has made it for you. They're called Lightroom Presets. But those are the kinds of trends you need to be looking at. So if your Instagram is looking like it has all that coloring to every picture, it's going to look really sleek and it's going to look really trendy. And people gravitate to photos that look trendy. All right, so any questions on that, feel free to ask them. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Here's some of the examples that I was talking about. The one on the far left is a testimonial. So they just copy and pasted the testimonial, brought it into a program called Canva, and just made it look more eye appealing. That is how you should be doing your testimonials on Instagram. This one is on Facebook, you can tell. But the great thing about posting to Instagram first is you can link your Facebook. So when you post on Instagram, it will automatically go on your Facebook. But even that, you could share to a Facebook group. It's very eye-catching and trendy, and it's going to help get your testimonials out there and get more reviews. So that's how you should be doing those. Instead of just taking a screenshot of a Google review, you should be doing it like that. The middle is an example of some humor. I actually used this for one of my clients, and I thought, you know what, we don't usually put out a ton of memes, but this one just fits so well and was just that kind of funny little thing you needed to see. Maybe you just needed it here just to cheer up your Monday. But that one was on point with brand, but also funny. And then the last one is an idea of an infographic. This was the thing I was talking about with numbers. 6 mistakes first-time home buyers should avoid. That one, especially if you're thinking about buying your home for the first time, like I would be right on that. One, not hiring a real estate. Oh, I should probably get a real estate agent. That probably would be a good idea, especially because I have no idea what I'm doing. But they go through that count and they think, okay, this is what I got to do. It's like a step 1, 2, 3 process for them. People like to have an easy direction or guide. So when you do your infographics, do it something similar to that. But numbers are really, really good. Okay, so basic social media tips. I can't believe that I only have 15 more minutes to talk to you, and there's so much to talk about. Use hashtags. We're going to talk more about that. Tagging influencers, bloggers. I forgot to put another slash, but even people in your area collaborating with other companies. I'll give you an example. I have a client, a real estate agent, who has helped a couple of people renovate their homes before they bought them. Like they bought a home and they decided to renovate the inside before they moved in. So this real estate agent had a lot of connections with contractors to come help them do their homes. Well, what you should be doing is collaborating together with these contractors who work with you at times to do this stuff. So maybe taking a picture with you and that contractor and saying, oh my gosh, we love Jorge. He does such a great job. If you ever are in the need of a contractor, we recommend him. What you should be doing is tagging him, and then he should be reposting that to his social media. And then that way you're both of your own followers are seeing each other's work. People love seeing other companies collaborate with one another, but that's helping your reach go a little further and his reach going a little further. So collaborate, tag each other, work together on this stuff. Add your social media buttons to your website and email newsletters. Just let people know you have social media. It should be on everything. Add to and be active on the stories. So anytime you put a new post, and you can link, by the way, you can link Instagram and Facebook for stories too. So when you post on the stories to Instagram, it'll automatically go on your Facebook as well. But whenever you make a new post for the day, you should be sharing that to the stories. Even something as simple as new post, check it out. Every day you should have something on the stories. People need to be seeing you kind of constantly. Not too much, not overwhelmingly so, but they should know you're constantly still there. You're basically living in their phone. On occasion too, though, they need to see your face. People need to relate to someone, and you're the face of your company. You're the face of you as a real estate agent. So make sure on occasion you're still even going on the stories. You could be doing something as simple as, hey, I'm at an open house. Let's take a walk through real quick, and you can walk them through the home. Or even just go on like we were talking about before, like with TikTok, share information, be educational. Speak their language is a big one. A lot of people do not know terms that you're very familiar with. So you almost have to dumb it down a little bit, bring it to an 8th grade level and speak their language. Just assume that they don't know what you're talking about. And then when you are writing your captions, you can write a lot of information. You can be pretty long on your captions on Instagram. But when you do, make sure your paragraphs are only 2 to 3 sentences. You don't want to make it too overwhelming to read. You want to make it really easy to read, because you got to remember we're all on our phones. And reading a lot of text on your phone just really isn't easy. So make sure you keep your paragraphs at 2 to 3 sentences and just space it out and continue what you were talking about. And then lastly, let yourself be known. This goes along with being on the stories and being active so that they engage with you. Even on your Instagram, don't be afraid to share your face and your story. Something that I saw another realtor do that I really actually loved was they were standing in the middle of the ocean holding a large fish and saying, here's the office for today. That was fun and interesting for me to see, and helped me just engage a little bit with that person in specific. So don't be afraid to do things often or once in a while like that on your own social media platforms. Okay, so hashtags. I'm going to keep trying to hurry because I want to have time for questions. Hashtags, every platform is different. Facebook, 1 to 3 is all you need. And then TikTok, you can only put so many characters. So you want to make your caption small and put a lot of hashtags, as many as you can. Usually you can only do like 4 or 5 by the end of it. But with Instagram, you can do 25 to 30, or 20 to 30 is probably the goal. The more you have, the more you're going to ping out to different things. So with hashtags, I'm going to just assume how you don't know how it works, okay? So with hashtags, when you hashtag something, it's going to go along with anybody that does that Google search or that hashtag search. If you go on Instagram and look up, put in kitchen in the search bar, anything that's hashtag kitchen is going to show up. Going along with using hashtags with lower post numbers. So hashtag kitchen is going to have a lot of posts related to it. It's probably got 3.3 million posts to it, which means that you hashtag kitchen are only going to be 1 out of 3.3 million. Your chances of being seen are not very high. So you're going to want to mix in those really large hashtags with smaller hashtags. So what I mean by that, say you have a picture of a kitchen, you're going to want to hashtag anything related to that. Real estate, hashtag buying, hashtag selling, hashtag moving out, hashtag wood floors if it has wood floors in the kitchen, hashtag stainless steel if it's stainless steel, hashtag granite countertops, hashtag kitchen, anything related to it. Well, hashtag granite countertops probably doesn't have as many posts related to that hashtag. So if it has if that hashtag has only, when you type it in, it'll show you how many posts it has. If it only has 547K, that's great, because now you've just lowered that number of how you'll be seen, right? You're 1 out of 547,000 now, rather than 1 out of 3.3 million. So your chances of getting seen are much, much better. If you hashtag something like, we'll say hashtag brown cabinets, that's not going to have a lot. It may have 10,000. I would not use that one. And the reason being is because if it's only hashtag 10,000, that means not a lot of people are relating to that specific hashtag, which means not a lot of people are going to be searching for it either. So usually when you look for hashtags, mix it in with the million ones that are really popular, but make sure you're putting a lot of hashtags that are between, I would say, 100,000 to 900,000, and you'll see them as you type in. You can hide your hashtags. You can either space it out from your text and then do period, space, period, space, period, space. That will give you some periods to break up the text in your caption, and then put your hashtags there. Or you can put it in the comments so that it's not even being too busy with your text and the photo. But if you do it in the comments, you got to do it fast, because those hashtags work more effectively the faster that they're posted with the post. So usually I will copy and save my hashtags prior to posting the photo or sharing the photo. As soon as it shares and it's posted, I'll go in the comments and paste my hashtags so that it's going to work right away. Okay, trying to hurry up here. So gaining and retaining followers. I went 1 trillion followers. A really good couple of ways to do this is not only your hashtags, because that's going to help you reach out to a lot more people, and the way your content is, but host contests. Hosting contests is a great way. Like I said, liking, saving, and sharing your post on Instagram is what's going to boost your algorithm better. So when you host a contest, make it required that 1, they have to follow you and like your post. 2, they have to save and share it. And then 3, usually you're going to want to do something like tag your friends or tag 3 people so that you know they're taking it and sharing it with their friends or other people. Other people are going to see it. Also, on top of that, I'll say if you want some bonus entries, also post it to your stories and tag me. If you want more bonus entries, every extra person you tag, you'll get an extra entry. So now you've got not only 3 people being tagged in your post, but you've got 10, 15, 20. If people really want the item you're giving away, they're going to go crazy for it. If you really just don't know or have time to do that, there are companies like giveaway pages, such as Gotta Have It Giveaways. Sorry, Gotta Have It Giveaways. Yeah. If you Instagram them, they do all this every week. And basically all you do is you pay them the money as part of the contest pot, and they do all the work. You may have to just do a couple of things like post it to your feed, but they give you the text and everything you got to do. So you should check them out. They've worked really, really great for me. Engaging with your followers is another really big one. So if anybody comments on your page, immediately respond to them. Immediately. And then posting daily, like we talked about. All right, some extra tools to help. Canva is that graphic design, user-friendly website. It's free. You can pay to have it expanded a little bit more, but Canva is really great. Lightroom Mobile, I'm going to touch on that really quickly. And considering buying presets, I'll touch that on the next slide. Premiere Rush is another one. You can do videos on there and it's free. Hashtag Expert, if you don't know where to start with hashtags, you can use hashtag Expert. That one you can do a trial, but it does cost money for a subscription. Grid Post will take 1 photo and make it into 3, so you can have a row of photos of the same photo on your Instagram if you'd like. Square Fit will resize, and Repost Plus makes it easy for you to repost. So take a screenshot of that so that you have those extra tools to help you. And then Lightroom Presets. So this is actually one, I created Lightroom presets specific for real estate and interior photos. This is just a way to make your photos have that wow factor so that they look good on Instagram and so that they're trendy. You can see the photo with the living room. The one on the left is your typical iPhone photo. Then the one on the right is how the preset looks with, like, once you apply the preset. It really just enhances the image so that it looks quality for Instagram. So how that works, here's a little video. This is the photo with the preset. When you take away the preset, this is the original photo here. And then all you do is you take the Lightroom app and you paste that preset in, or you select that preset. You can see how it enhances and changes the image. The last final image with the preset on it is just much more Instagram worthy. It's much more captivating. It's sharp. It's got good color. It's clear. So that's what you want to have when you're posting your pictures. So what I can offer for you is I do real estate social media. If you have a social media page, I can post for you every day. All my pricing is there. I also do real estate photography and I do real estate video. So if this is anything of interest to you, feel free to reach out to me. I also have this on my website, katiealvarez.com. And now, because there's only 3 minutes left, I have time for questions. There's my contact information. There's my website so that you can buy any of those presets if you want them or are interested in me doing your social media. I also have my email there. Feel free to email me with any social media questions because I know we kind of had to rush through it and there's just so much to it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. So any questions? Also, remember that the poll is there. So please feel free to do the poll. Let me know how this was for you. Great, thank you. I'm so glad this was useful to you. Like I said, social media is constantly changing and there's so much to it that 40 minutes just does not seem like enough time. But seriously, feel free to email me and I'll answer any questions if I didn't dive in enough to something or you have a question about something else. Thank you so much. All right, I'll go ahead and just end this. Thank you all for joining me. This was really fun and hope you have a great rest of your day.